wanna know, I'm Alexis, aka the Soft Reader, and I'm here today to do a video all about my, Hogwarts information, basically. This is another one of those things where, I've gotten a lot of subscribers recently, so I figured it would be interesting for me to tell you guys all of my Hogwarts info, according to Pottermore mostly. And also, too, a little bit of things here and there where, I'll tell you guys what I think my favorite class would be if I went to Hogwarts, and that kind of thing. So, obviously, the big one right out of the way is I am definitely a Hufflepuff, as you can tell from my, my Hufflepuff scarf. I also have a Hufflepuff sweatshirt. I have Hufflepuff pants. I have the, house edition of the Philosopher's Stone in Hufflepuff. I am a very proud Hufflepuff. It's interesting too because I didn't always think I was a Hufflepuff. When I was in my teens and in my early 20s, I thought I was a Ravenclaw. I would have sworn up and down I was a Ravenclaw because, you know, I really like to learn. That's still a thing about me. I definitely consider myself to have a thirst for knowledge. I love to learn facts and I love to watch documentaries and learn stuff. And so for me, I always was like, well, obviously I like to learn. Obviously I'm a Ravenclaw. But as I got older, I realized that I don't think I'm competitive enough to be in Ravenclaw. I think the issue with me in Ravenclaw is that most people in Ravenclaw, you know, they want to be the smartest. They like to show that they're the smartest. And not that I think that's necessarily a bad thing, you know, they're the kind of people who, you know, want to be able to prove their intelligence. And I just don't think I'm competitive because there's not a competitive bone in my body. And I don't think I could make it as a Ravenclaw. I think other Ravenclaws would be like, I got an A on my test, and I'd be like, oh, cool. I'd be like, that's great. Congratulations. Also, I love to learn stuff, but I hate studying. The minute it becomes I have to prepare for something, I'm over it. I'm not here for studying. I hate studying. I love to learn it when I'm sitting in a class, but the minute I have to regurgitate the info in studying, I hate that. When I think it was after the new Pottermore quizzes came out, I decided to take it. And I was like, I'm totally getting a Ravenclaw, obviously, I'm such a Ravenclaw. And both my brother and my dad 100% are Ravenclaws. I cannot see my brother or my dad being in another house, at all. They're definitely both Ravenclaws. So I was like, I'm gonna totally get Ravenclaw, obviously, and I got sorted into Hufflepuff. And I remember being kind of disappointed with that because, obviously, now, I love House Hufflepuff, and I am a poster child for Hufflepuff. But at the time, I was like, oh man, Hufflepuff's a boring house. No one wants to be a Hufflepuff. You know, I was like, no one wants to be a Hufflepuff. Hufflepuffs are boring. They're not as exciting as Gryffindor or, you know, as cool as Slytherin. So, at first I was really bummed out. I was like, I don't want to be a Hufflepuff. And then I think, all I could think about for a week was, am I a Hufflepuff? And the more I thought about it, the more I was like, holy crap, I'm a Hufflepuff. Because for me, obviously loyalty is the big thing of House Hufflepuff. And I definitely think loyalty is a big thing for me personally. I consider myself a very loyal person, and that's one of the top things I expect from other people is loyalty. I also not to be Hufflepuff's the nice house, but also I feel I'm very much the kind of person who would give you the shirt off my back. I consider myself to be very generous, very kind, and I feel that's very Hufflepuffy. I feel most of the other Hufflepuffs I know are very much like that. You know, I also don't mind putting in the work. You know, unafraid of toil, I don't mind putting in the work to get my things accomplished, you know? I don't mind working my butt off if it means that I get this reward in the end. So yeah, I mean, I definitely think I'm a Hufflepuff. On Twitter, Kaylin, who's a blogger I'm friends with, she told me that I am the perfect example of a Hufflepuff, and it was the biggest compliment I could ever have. I feel I'm a perfect example of a Hufflepuff. I feel I'm a Hufflepuff poster child. Definitely. I'm very much a Hufflepuff. I feel if you look it up in the dictionary, it's just my face next to the definition of Hufflepuff. Which is really funny because I feel most of my friends are Slytherins. And not that Slytherin is like the direct opposite of Hufflepuff, especially because like historically Hufflepuffs are kind of the like mix match house, like right, like Hufflepuffs are kind of people who don't belong in other houses, so they get put in Hufflepuff, which is like fine. I feel like all of my friends are Slytherins. Like when I think of all of my friends, I'm all like, yeah, huh, you a Slytherin. Like all of my friends are Slytherins, and then I have like 2 friends who are Ravenclaws, but like most of my friends are Slytherins. So I'm like the I'm like the Hufflepuff in a sea of snakes basically. But I love them all. So the next thing I'm going to mention is I figured I would mention what my Patronus is. And I have to admit, I feel my Patronus is very fitting for like me as a person. And my Patronus is a crow. And I'll try to see if I can get a screenshot of the one off of the actual Pottermore website to put up. But if I can't, I'm just going to put up a picture of an actual crow. But crows are my Patronus, and I feel very comfortable in that. That feels very fitting to me. The 2 reasons right off the bat that I feel like a crow fits is because I love birds, first of all. Like I find birds so interesting, and like I have an aunt who has a bunch of birds, and like I love like being able to interact with her birds. I love birds. A superpower I've always wanted to have would be like being able to fly, and like obviously that's related to birds. And then the other thing is that birds are typically like dark omens, and they're typically very like macabre, and like I love that kind of stuff. Like I love anything that's like dark and macabre. Like that is all very much things that I like enjoy in terms of like, I really like horror movies. I love the aesthetic of like, if you've ever seen Penny Dreadful, the aesthetic of that TV show like perfectly fits me. So like I'm a very happy and chipper, and like I love floral prints and pastels, but I'm also like, I love dark stuff too. So like a crow feels fitting for me because like they're like dark birds. And then also too, crows are very intelligent, they're very resourceful, which I take pride in that. I'm very much the kind of person who can, you know, make do with what I have. In most situations, I'm also very much the kind of person who, you know, even like in life, like I can make good out of a bad situation. And so I feel like that's very fitting for crows because again, they're intelligent and they're resourceful. Also too, I looked it up online, like the what does your Patronus say about you? And a lot of people were like, crows are not very afraid of many things, so they're very fearless birds. And they were saying that also crows are very cunning and ambitious, which is so funny to me because like when I hear like fearless, I think Gryffindor, and then when I hear cunning and ambitious, I think Slytherin. But also like, I feel like that's like me as a Hufflepuff too, is that like while I very much embody the Hufflepuff traits, I feel like I have traits of all of the houses, but that they're not as extreme enough to like be in other houses. But I don't feel like I'm ambitious enough to be a Slytherin, you know? I like to learn, but I'm not competitive enough to be a Ravenclaw. And I'm fearless, you know, like I don't mind haunted houses, I like going to haunted houses, I like to watch scary stuff, but like definitely like I don't mess with spiders. Absolutely not. So it's like, you know, like I wouldn't say I'm brave enough to be a Gryffindor. So like I also feel like a crow fits because I feel like a crow is kind of like all of the houses in one bird. And then that's like me. So honestly, like a crow, I don't think I could have picked a better Patronus for me personally because I feel like a crow fits so well. And then the next thing I figured I would mention is what wand I got when I took the wand test. I'm not as well versed in what the individual wands mean. So when I tell you guys what my wands mean, obviously on the Pottermore website it gives you a more in-depth description of like what each thing means. I'm not gonna read all of that to you because like it's on the internet. But if you guys know better like what this stuff means, please feel free to tell me in the comments below because like I'm interested in that kind of stuff. So yeah, this is my wand. I'm having to read it off the actual website. I have a dogwood wood, a dragon heartstring core. Mine is 11.5 inches in length and it's slightly springy flexibility. So that's my wand. Again, I don't fully know what that means, but that's my wand. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about, because I tried to think of something that like also like if I was at Hogwarts, like what some of the things that I feel like would be like what animal would I take with me, which like I'm sure you guys can guess what my favorite class would be. And I feel like I couldn't pick a favorite professor because like I feel like having the professors, like obviously I love Minerva McGonagall, But like, man, I don't know if I would want to have her as an actual professor, like, let's be real. So, without a doubt, my favorite class at Hogwarts would be Care of Magical Creatures. I have no doubt in my head that that would be the class I would wait. But like, even like Hagrid's version of just like messing with like slugs. Like, I still think I would find that so interesting. Like, I would love to learn about all those things, but I also would love to like be up close and personal with like magical creatures. I've said this before, like in books, like I love it when books have like magical creature companions or just like animal companions in general. Like I love that, and I love animals. So like I have no doubt in my head that like I would love to learn about like the mythical creatures in the Hogwarts universe. Like that would, Care of Magical Creatures, I would look forward to that class every day I had it. I would be so excited to have that class, with like without a doubt. Like I would love that class. And then like clearly as like a what kind of animal companion would I take with me to Hogwarts? I mean, I would literally just take Jaeger with me. He would be my... Would you bring me letters? Would you? Would you bring me letters? You'd like to walk on all the long tables in the dining hall, wouldn't you? Yes, you would. Like, look at him. He's perfect. He'd be the best. Wouldn't you? Alrighty guys, so yeah, that's like the rundown on like my Hogwarts info. Clearly there's like a little bit of extra stuff on Pottermore that you can find out, like your Ilvermorny house and stuff like that, but I would literally just be like, I'm a Thunderbird, cool, hey guys, what's up? So this is all my Hogwarts info. Please let me know down below what your house and your Patronus are. And to any of the other information in here, what would your favorite Hogwarts class be? What animal would you bring with you? Like, I want to know all the things. And I'll see you guys soon with another video. Bye!